welcome to the English world of Aradhya students. Myself Rashmin sir, imparting knowledge of English to the students of 9 to 12 standard in English medium. Students, today in this particular video we will learn your new grammar topic which is very common in the standards from 9 to 12. The topic is exclamatory into assertive. Now before we move on to this topic, let me revise your knowledge of sentence. So sentence is what? Sentence basically is a group of words having a particular meaning. Again, when we see the types of sentences, there are main 4 types of sentences. Okay, assertive sentence, interrogative sentence, exclamatory sentence and imperative sentence. So now let's talk about exclamatory sentence. What is an exclamatory sentence? So a sentence which expresses the feeling of shock, surprise, happiness, sadness or any such emotion, that sentence is known as an exclamatory sentence. It usually begins with the words of exclamation like what, how, alas, oh, hooray, bravo, etc. These are the words of exclamation. Students, just keep them in mind. These are known as the words of exclamation. When you convert them into assertive, and one more thing, it always normally ends with exclamation mark. When you are using the words like alas, oh, hooray, so after these words sometimes that exclamation mark is there, remaining sentence ends with full stop. But when you begin the exclamatory sentence with what or how, they will end with an exclamation mark. Okay, and you see in exclamatory sentence the subject and verb are normally written in the end of the sentence. Okay, through this example we will understand that. So when you convert them into assertive, what is the rule of the assertive sentence is that assertive sentence normally begins with the subject. It is followed by the verb. Okay, then it has other words. So we are supposed to bring that subject and verb in the beginning when you convert them into assertive. Plus you'll have to remove the words of exclamation, what, how, alas, all these words are there in the exclamatory sentences which we will remove. In place of that, then we will use what? Very, really or indeed, which are the words of intensity. Students, these words are known as words of intensity, but even in using those words you'll have to take a bit care of all those things. Okay, so let's look at the example. Here the example is already written. What a beautiful flower the rose is. Okay, all of you can see the sentence begins with what, then a beautiful flower, thus your subject is over here, the rose, and last one is verb, is. Okay, then you have the exclamation mark. Now when you convert it into assertive, as I told you, assertive sentence begins with the subject. So here is your subject, then you have verb. Okay, then students, already we have removed the word what from that sentence. So here we are adding the word of intensity, that is very. Okay, now whenever students we use the word very, it is always used after the article. So here you see before that article a is there and after that very is written. Okay, never write very before the article, it is wrong. Word very is always written after the article. So students, you keep that thing in mind. And then beautiful flower. Okay, so noun and adjective. That way your assertive sentence will get over. Now in the same sentence, I told you students earlier also that while using this very, really and indeed, you will have to be a bit careful. Here article a is there, so no problem, but when article n is used in certain sentences, so there when you convert them into assertive, if you are using very, really and indeed, so sometimes article n will be converted into a, and in certain cases it will remain n only. I'll just explain to you with one more example. What an extraordinary cricketer Virat is. Okay, Virat here, Virat Kohli I am talking about. So what an extraordinary cricketer Virat is. Now when you change that sentence, here you see we have used the article N, students. Now what are the changes taking place when you are using the word of intensity very, really or indeed? So as I told you students, very is always written after the article, but the words of intensity really and indeed are written before the article. Okay, so same sentence when you convert with those three things. Just a minute students. This is your exclamatory sentence and here is your assertive. Virat is a very extraordinary cricketer. Okay students, so here you see students, I have already removed what. Now N, here in your exclamatory sentence the article used was N, but when you used very, so article got converted into a. What is the rule of the article? If the word following the article, its pronunciation begins with the vowel sound, then it is N and singular noun. And if the pronunciation begins with the consonant sound, then it would be a. So here very, that is a consonant sound, and that's why article N gets converted into a. Just keep that thing in mind. But if I use really or indeed, then what happens? So students, keep that thing in mind that really and indeed are always written before the article. Very is written after the article, while really and indeed are written before the article. So in other way, if you change, it would be like that. Virat is really, yeah, so indeed, Virat is indeed or really an extraordinary cricketer. Okay students, got it? So here you see, here what we have done is, instead of very we have used really or indeed, and really and indeed are written before the article. Okay, you can see this change over here. Here article a, and after that you have got the word very, but here you see really or indeed and then you have article. So whichever article is there in case of really and indeed, that will remain the same. But if you are using very, then N also will be converted into a, and a will remain a only. Okay, so students, so far you keep this thing in mind with the sentences beginning with what, because sentences beginning with what will definitely have the article a or N. Okay, still if we move on to the same type, sometimes students, here the subject and this one verb is not given. So you will have to add all those words. Sometimes the subject, verb, even adjective is not given. Okay, instead of, I'll just rub it. For example, students, what a shot. Only this much. Now, this is also an example of an exclamatory sentence. But here you see subject and verb is not written. Because when we go on speaking like these sentences, all the time we don't follow this format and we speak till the end. Okay, sometimes we just speak 2 or 3 words, okay, just to express shock or surprise. Okay, so here it is something like that. What a shot. Now shot is what? A non-living thing. Okay, it has nothing to do with he or she. So for the shot, this word, we will use the subject it. Okay, so here we can complete the sentence this way. It is. This it is we are supposed to just keep in mind. It is understandable. That's why it is not written. So when you convert such sentences into assertive, okay, you will have to see the noun first. the gender of the noun. Okay, whether it is male, we are talking about the male, female, or any neuter thing. Okay, so here short is what? Neither in male nor in female, and they are talking of just one short. That's why the subject used for it is it. Okay, so it is. Now article also we are using a very. Now very we are supposed to keep here. What all other things we are using is subject, verb, very, and then adjective also. Good, short. Okay students, so here that way your sentence will be over. You might wonder कि sir इसमें subject object को दिया ही नहीं है. So sometimes we have to use our own understanding regarding the sentence, and according to that only we can use the subject and verb. So what is short? So it is a very good short, students. Okay, you can also write it is an extraordinary short. Okay, it is an extraordinary short. Here again you can write the words really or indeed. It is a very extraordinary short. It is a very good short. Okay, so students, that way these sentences are converted. Again, just to see one more example of this incomplete sentence, let me give you one more example. What a girl. Okay, now this is your sentence which looks incomplete because subject and verb, both the things are not given. So that we have to understand that here they talk about the girl. So subject will be what? She. And the verb will be is. Okay, this is understandable. So when you begin your assertive sentence, it will be like this. She is a very, now any adjective you can put. Okay, she is a very charming girl. Okay, you can also say she is really an intelligent girl. Okay students, so you can use very also and really also, but again I would say that you keep that basic change in mind. When very is used, even article N becomes a. But when you use either really or indeed, then if it is article a, it will remain a only. If it is article N, then it will remain N only. Okay. Here again it depends on the adjective, sound of the adjective. Here it is vowel sound, so N is there. If you are using some other adjective over here, you are free to use any adjective. So she is really a clever girl. That way also you can say she is really a very charming girl. She is really an intelligent girl. So like that, any adjective you can use. So these are the students, you see the sentences dealing with the word of exclamation what. Okay. Now let's see the sentences beginning with how. Okay. What all things are there? Now see students, here this much you will have to keep in mind. In how sentences you neither have adjective nor you have noun. Okay, in the earlier sentences, what a beautiful rose it is. Okay, so a article was there, beautiful, that was all, that was the adjective, and rose noun was also there. But here you see students, you have only adjective. So when noun is not there, article is also not there. So in how sentences you won't have article also and noun also. So here when you convert it, already subject and verbs are given. So both the things you can bring front. He is very smart. Okay, or he is really smart. He is indeed smart. So here if you use really, indeed or very, it doesn't make any sense. Okay, because doesn't make any difference, sorry, because you don't have to bother about the use of article. Article only is missing over here. So whether you use really, very or indeed, it doesn't make any difference. But in what sentences you will have to be careful about those. Now let me remind you the earlier sentences. What sentence? What was the difference? What a smart boy he is. Okay, students, now you see the difference in how sentence and what sentence. In what sentence article is there, in what sentence noun is also there. Now these two things are not here. Okay, directly in place of what, it begins with how, then it doesn't have article or n, it doesn't have the noun also over here, only how smart he is. Okay, how charming she looks. So there also you see that noun is missing and even article is missing. So how sentences, students, I feel are far easier than what sentences. Okay, just keep this thing in mind. Here its assertive is also like that. He is a very smart boy. Okay. So students, I think so far this much is clear in your mind. Sentences beginning with what and sentences beginning with how, and the incomplete what sentence. So we have learned all those things in this particular video. In my next video, we will also see the other types of sentences, exclamatory sentences, and how they are converted into assertive sentences. Okay, till that time, students, whatever I have shown you, whatever technique I have shown you in this particular video, kindly keep them in mind, and later on when I send you the exercises, kindly put them into practice and get the right answer. Thank you. Have a nice day. God bless you. Take care. Bye.